I'm Diane. I am a local musician here in town. I host a radio show called The Local Show, and it's such an honor to be sitting next to you.
The honor is mine. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to watch.
Huge Bob Dylan fan too, so this is really fun for me. Bob, let me start with Bob Dylan tweeted about you, calling you a brilliant actor, and basically endorsing the film in a Bob Dylan way. Tell me your response to that.
And I was just elated to, I was elated. I don't know how to say much more than that. That's really the word.
That's so exciting. So I'm in front of some of my favorite musicians actually in Minnesota right now. I can look out and just see a bunch of them. And you did an incredible job of someone who's grown up with Bob Dylan since I was a little kid. I think a lot of us feel the same, of like, wow, to be able to learn about him personally like this. Tell me about the process of becoming Bob Dylan and learning about Bob Dylan's music and really emulating him.
Well, this became an obsession because this was something I worked on for years, and started in 2018. Admittedly, I knew little about Bob, and over the pandemic, sort of threw myself into it. But as opposed to other roles where I've done films, you have 3 months to prep or 4 or 5 months to prep, where you lock in. This was a years-long process. So, like anything in life, the 10,000 hours you put in pays dividends and stuff. Like relentlessly playing guitar, all the harmonica lessons, listening to him, listening to all the interviews, if you exist. I've probably spoken more this week than he has his whole life. Just being relentless about it, and it's an honor to be here in front of Minnesota-bred musicians, because I think you hear that iron ore in Bob's voice, and I'm honored as a New Yorker to have got an opportunity to play him. This is an American legend and a Minnesota legend.
And I was there for the press conference earlier in the smaller room, and I heard this question being asked a lot, but I think people would love to know, you spent some time at going to Duluth and Hibbing. How did that experience inform your acting?
Well, I don't want to be I don't want to be prescriptive about it. It's more like a process of osmosis in a sense, to sort of use a mystical, mysterious enigma. And I just felt if I had the good fortune to spend time, at least that time growing up, granted America in 2023 at the time, is in America or Minnesota in 1961 or 1958 or 1955, but it's just, just unlocks stuff. Also, the fabulous, I'm sure people here have done this as well, the fabulous Bob fan named Bill, don't know his last name. Tatum? Pagel. Bill Pagel. Bill Pagel. Well, I'll say that back and tell him thank you, because he is the proprietor of Bob, to my understanding, both of Bob's childhood homes in Minnesota, and I visited the one in Hibbing, and he has drawings there and notes and things that haven't made their way online. He refuses to let make their way online, and things that were massively informative to me, and about Bob's sense of predestiny and his drive, things that in our modern day parlance we would call manifestation, and things that terminology we traffic in now, but at the time was so rare, and that's my understanding, and as the voice of this folk movement, to find it as a texture to express himself through, with, but ultimately being a Buddy Holly fan. I've seen the opening scene of this movie with PC, I love Buddy Holly, I love Little Richard and Elvis Presley. So at some point, this is my interpretation, we had the opportunity to, we saw what the Beatles were doing in a sense of going, why you need these rock and roll albums. I think the interpretive conclusion of the movies, you just felt like it, and when you told no. And like, I'm sure many artists in this room, that's incredibly inspiring, especially in this day and age. He wasn't right, he was creative,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why so many of us love musicians and revere musicians is because they give us permission to break outside of society's norms, and he was such a figure of doing that. And yeah, going electric, you think about in today's world, like being a musician and then playing electric guitar seems like so safe, and yet it was so revolutionary.
I love that you're saying that. You know, saying that Christian Bale was a collaborator on other James thing on 310 Yuma, and I was talking about him once. He said it's to challenge the movie in a sense to get a modern day audience for people that weren't around at the time to understand. You know, why this was, you know, groundbreaking. This is a really terrible millennial Gen Z metaphor I'll hit you with. But the way I thought about it was like you had two movements, let's say. There was the Coachella for purity. If you didn't already get it from the movie, I'm gonna break it down real simple. There's like a, you know, whatever, the purity movement in a sense, the folk movement, anti-commercialism, anti-establishment in a sense. And then there was rock and roll, which had been, you saw what else from most of you know the artists, so anyway.
Well, I mean, there's so many great scenes in the movie that I can think of. One that was really pivotal to me was you doing, or Bob in Joan's room, basically, as you were saying, from the fool's gold mouthpiece, the hollow horn plays wasted words, proves to one that, you know, being busy born is busy dying, right?
Oh yeah.
Just trying to get through those words and trying to obsess, and then not giving a fuck about how it might affect the people around you. Like, I'm curious to learn more even about how you prepared even yourself for his mannerisms, because the mannerisms were very much a part of your role, along with the poetry, along with the singing.
Yeah, well, that's more technical, you know, that was the biggest challenge. That was the time that most I pushed myself as an actor to be a gift. You know, I just finished a movie yesterday in New York called Marty Supreme, and it's more open-ended. And you know, taking on something like Bob Dylan, like taking on Willy Wonka, people are like very protective about that, and rightfully. And so the mannerisms are more technical. But to your point about that scene, but to your point about that scene, you know, I don't think it's someone who doesn't give a fuck. I think it's more he's into his art. You know, if someone is an engager like myself in real life, and all of a sudden they weren't engaging, you could take that as an offense. You know, well, you're an engager as a person. But if someone's not an engager, and they're just focused on what they care about, which in that moment is, it's all right, Mom. You know, that's how I always saw it. You know, is he that guy in that moment? I don't know. He's working on his song.
Yeah, no kidding. Light question: what's your favorite Bob Dylan song of the moment?
You know, it changed all the time, and I want to get away. This is a deep cut. I'm gonna keep it for myself, even though millions of people listen to it. I don't know. Maybe Outlaw Blues. I always like that song, Outlaw Blues, because it's got a great rock and roll edge. And to my knowledge, could be that wrong, I don't think he ever did it live. To this day, I've never been able to find him doing it live.
Does anyone know that one out there? Is it?
Oh yeah, put an Outlaw Blues. Oh yeah.
Deep cut.
That's not a deep cut. That's not a deep cut. Everyone's thinking that was a deep cut.
I'm having a brain fart because that's what I do on stage. Tell me about working with the director of this, who, James Mangold,
yes.
Get it right, helped actresses like Angelina Jolie and Reese Witherspoon, who walk the line, become Oscar-winning actors. Like, wow, what was it like working with him?
He was fantastic. You know, I'm sure. You know, people. I love Walk the Line. I'm sure many people here love, and yeah, we do that. I mean, that's an amazing film. I think Boyd Holbrook, who plays Johnny Cash in this movie, did an amazing job because Joaquin was so definitive as Johnny Cash, and I'm just so proud of Boyd because it was in some ways the least written part, and he's just believable, which is a major accomplishment. You know, James is deeply wise. You know, I fell so into the Bob lore, hitting Duluth, and just like many an American, like many a person, so obsessed with him that I you know, took the rock and roll history point of view about a lot of scenes, and Jim had his eye on the story. And this movie does a great job of that. You would always say it's boring to watch someone who covers in a movie. It's got to be about, you know, Joan Baez, her perspective on boxing, or O'Fanning, who plays Sylvia in this, who's amazing, by the way. O'Fanning. That's another part that could have, she just brought an amazing sincerity to it. She plays, her name is Sylvia in the movie, to my understanding, never had a conversation with Bob, but Jim talked about it publicly, where Bob was kind of protective of his early relationship with Susan Rotolo, his girlfriend in New York. It was the only name change in the movie. You know, Sylvia and this. Sue's were an incredible book. If the movie was interesting to you, if the period is interesting to you, her book it was almost, Chronicles is great, millions of books about Bob Dylan are great, but her book was fascinating, because people, especially when you're in reference to an artist, you can only see them, especially a lot of musicians, but to see her very grounded, her writing is beautiful about their relationship, and so that was very, very helpful too.
Absolutely. Tell us about, well, obviously you have a musical gift, and there's so much incredible music of every genre. Like Bob Dylan says, I listen to everything. And I'm sure you're a fan of different types of music, but how is maybe playing Bob Dylan, this American icon who is a genius lyricist, influenced even the way you maybe listen to music of today?
That's a great question. I mean, my traps in my head. I just, man, the amazing thing about Bob, I don't even see in the context of music today, it would just sound like a ignorant person, but in the context of forever music, this is the way I was looking at it. I'm so proud to play Bob Dylan in the 60s. A lot of musicians, this is just my theory, but are forward-facing in a sense. They're